Hey guys, so I made some videos talking about how drugs really destroyed my life due to having psychosis, among other things, but I didn't really elaborate much on what psychosis feels like because this is very misunderstood by a lot of people because most people have not experienced psychosis. And so I wanted to kind of shine a light on that and the things that I was experiencing when I had drug-induced psychosis. So during freshman year of college, I used psychedelics pretty heavily, a lot of LSD, MDMA, ketamine, smoked weed a lot. And then I went back home and I was with my friend. We were smoking in my house, and all of a sudden, like, something just switched in my mind. It's very hard to explain, but it was like I remember I had smoked and I got up to go to the bathroom, and suddenly the bathroom was just so bright and just overwhelming, and I tripped and fell. I literally felt something like it's hard to explain exactly what it is, but like turn on or something in my mind, right? Like a switch. And so then after this, I started feeling like there was almost kind of a feeling in my body, like sort of a lightness. And I started thinking really serious about these spiritual topics. And I started getting really delusional, thinking that I was like hacking into the matrix, and the delusions started getting bad. When I started seeing patterns that weren't there, I would think that like license plate numbers meant something. I started to think that I was like connected to some big computer system, and that I was. And another component to it is you feel very like grandiose about yourself. In my case, I thought I was on some kind of mission to like save the world from child traffickers and stuff like that. It's all these really weird, grandiose thoughts and a lot of flight of ideas. And so I became really fixated on numbers and like computer code and stuff like that. And somehow this tied into saving the world or whatever. And it doesn't really make sense because it's psychosis, but your relationship to reality is totally thwarted. You're thinking that, oh, I'm doing all these things that you're not, where the reality was my brain had just had enough of the drugs and it was trying to tell me that. But in my mind, I was out there like decoding the matrix or something, finding all this hidden meaning in license plates or whatever. And unfortunately, I had other episodes of psychosis that kind of took on different themes as it went on. But the biggest thing to realize about it is a lot of times when someone's having psychosis, in my case, it was like psychotic mania, you're very excited about what you're doing, even if what you're doing isn't making any sense. And you have a really big view of yourself, which usually I'm not that egotistical of a person, but when I was in the psychotic state, I was, thinking like I was special in some way. So it was just a very disturbing experience, and I can go into more detail about other episodes, but I just wanted to share that as kind of a basic understanding of what can go through someone's head when they're having psychotic mania, the spiritual component of the delusions, and thinking that you're chosen or something. A lot of other people might think that they're Jesus or something like that. That's just, that's my take on my experience, and I'll be happy to go into more detail about other episodes too, but that's what started it all.